Hello, this is Culture in Exile. I'm the Exile. So I know I talk really fast because I have to keep these videos under 15 minutes. Otherwise, I have to pay a premium to load this stuff onto YouTube, which is $15 a month, and I really don't want to do that. So people are now wondering why men. Last video I talked about why men aren't, going out there doing, getting a job, getting a girlfriend, getting a wife, behaving like former generations. Basically because we're worn out and tired and we're just going, fuck it. You don't like us, we don't like you. You go over there, we'll go over here. Now we're going to talk about why aren't men dating? Okay. And goes back to a paper I read, say maybe 6, 7 years ago now. So probably 2013, 2014, which came out that 40% of young 20 to 30, 40% of men under the age of 40 were not dating and we're not interested in establishing a relationship. They weren't in a relationship. They weren't looking for a relationship, and and of those 20% were not even interested in having sex. Yeah, this isn't the incel community. This isn't the FA communities. Please don't mix those up. These are guys that want MGTOW, or monk, or that. And I don't want to label them that because MGTOW's gone toxic, but anyway, so that's what has happened. People are going, well, why has this happened? Well, let's see. How many girls do you know that are crazy? The mental illness rate in American women is through the roof. And I believe I've seen figures ranging from 30 to 60% of women are on psychotropic drugs. Okay? This means they're mentally fucked. Usually it's depression. Hey, and if you want to get out of depression, cut your drugs. Get off caffeine. Caffeine causes depression. It's a mood-altering drug. They don't tell you that. You're welcome. I just made your life better. Please do it. You're not going to. And that's not what the video is about. So, why aren't men dating? Men aren't dating because we all have had that one friend that had that crazy bitch. Yeah, I said female dog girlfriend. The girlfriend who lied would say, "Oh, hey, you want to go out to stay?" Wouldn't. Man, pay when he did. Would show up late. Would be horribly upset if he showed up late. Who, if she even thought he was cheating on her, would destroy his stuff. The whole 9 yards. Girls, you know who I'm talking about. Guys, you know who I'm talking about. Every one of us knows at least one girl like that. One guy who's been through that kind of relationship. We all know at least one guy who has had false sexual harassment charges gone against them. Or has been in a situation where it's like, oh shit, I could be filed with sexual harassment charges here. I remember a case. I was working at my local library at the time, and this 60-year-old woman who I known for years. Okay, we known each other for probably a decade or so. She was retiring. She was 65, 67, going, I'm retiring, I'm out. And I was working there. I'd been working there for some time. She came back and gave me a hug. I returned the hug. Now, when I hug someone, I tend to do a whole body hug. Okay, that's just what I do. She went stiff when I did that. Oops. And I had to worry the next month or so I was going to get a sexual harassment case. Yeah, that's happened. Every guy's been in a situation like that. Every guy's been in a situation where, say, you've been on a loading dock, or you've been working with a woman, she's wearing a low-cut top, she bends over and you can see her panties or see her bra, and then she catches you looking because men go, oh, that looks nice, and before you snap out of it, and she looks up and she kind of glares at you. You gotta worry then about sexual harassment, because that can get you fired. You did nothing wrong. She did. She was wearing inappropriate clothes for work, but you're the one that could get fired for it. We all know been in those situations. We've all either had or seen someone that had a crazy wife, girlfriend. Most of us have either had our parents or a friend of our parents break up because their mom just wasn't happy with their husband for one FU reason or another. And many of us were raised by single mothers. I love my grandmother. I've talked about her before. She's a World War II generation. But I can state with a certainty there's a reason why many of the World War II generation were alcoholics, and it wasn't the war. Okay? It was not the war. So I love her dearly. She's a great person. She has issues. So there's that, the emotional reasons, the fear, the threat. And then there's the marriage issue of, if a woman is unhappy, women file for over 80% of divorces. The divorce rate, I've heard, ranges between 30 and 80%. I'm more inclined to say it's probably 40% right now. It's not as high as people like to think, but it's still 40%. That's almost 50%. However, 80 to 90% of those divorces are filed by women, many of which are just out of the blue. And what happens? Over 40% of those divorce cases, she says she was abused, that she was raped, that he cheated on her. Men don't cheat on women as much as women cheat on them now. Okay? That's the new statistic. And so she takes the house, she takes his dog, she takes his kids, she takes the car, and he's got to pay her, pay the mortgage, pay the car bill for shit he don't own anymore, and for a woman he can't sleep with anymore, and who, honestly, he can't stand anymore because she did one of the worst betrayals possible to him. So there's that. Then there's just the pure economics. Most millennials and Gen X went to college. Most never read Aaron Clarey's Worthless or got decent advice from people on how to go to college and do it right. Yeah, there's a right way to go to college and there's a wrong way to go to college. Most people did it wrong. They came out the other end with a 5 to 6 to 7 figures in debt. God help them. And they get out here, and guess what? Baby boomers are still in charge of everything. Gen X is right below them, and millennials and Gen Z are on the shitty jobs they could have gone out with a high school degree. Except they don't just have they now have the college debt, which is going to be between $4,000 and $6,000 a year. A month. Okay, that's what it's going to be every month. And they're trying to do that on $15 an hour. And if you're making $15 an hour, you're only making about $1,600 to $2,000 a year. A month. $2,000 a month if you're lucky. After taxes, it's going to be more like $1,600. Rent is typically in a lot of places between $500 and $1,000. Guess where they're living? They're living with their mom and dad. Women don't want to go for those guys. And to be blunt, the guy's sitting there going, I don't have the money for this. I've got to live off of $600 a month or less. Food is is hell of expensive. Cars are expensive. Insurance, thank you, Obama. Obama is expensive. Car insurance is expensive. You got all these expenses, and by the time you're kind of pedaling out the other side, you don't have the money to date. Okay, dating is between $40 and $80 a date, and that's just taking the chick out, going out to eat at a okay restaurant. Okay, it's going to be more expensive if you go anywhere else. That's $80 a date. $40, $80 a date. And you're going to do that maybe once or twice a month. You don't have the $200, the $160 to $200 to do that. You don't have that money. You don't have the time because you're sitting there, you're working because you got a job, and you're probably trying to do something on the side, like myself here with YouTube, trying desperately to get yourself out of debt. And then you got the emotional side. When you're in a hell of a lot of debt, you're stressed out all the time. Okay? The last thing you need is a woman going, "Hey, honey, we haven't been out for a while. Can we go out?" "Oh, I don't have. Can you pay?" "No, I'm not going to pay. You're going to pay. You're going to pay it all." "Hey, XYZ, I'm not happy. Or we're going to break up. I'm going to torture shit." Yeah. So men are just checking out of dating because they don't want the dangers. There's the fear of sexual harassment charges. There's the fear of divorce. So it's even if you date him and you like him, you're not going to marry him because if you get married, they're going to rape you. It's called divorce rape for a reason. It steals everything. And you're tired. You're working all the time. You're tired. The fifth reason, let's see, I have enough time here? And I have a minute and a half, so let's try to get through this real quick. The second thing is sex. No guy wants to sleep with a woman that has slept with more than 10 guys. We don't. So women nowadays are either going to give it up real quick, and we don't want that. We like that. We want it, but after the first hanky spanky or two, we don't want it. 2, they don't want to give it up at all. Or 3, they use it as emotional blackmail. Hey, you didn't do what I want? My chastity belt's on. So there's all those things. So men, that's why men aren't dating right now. If you want to fix those girls, 1, straighten out your fucking head. 2, stop bitching about how you're in debt and help us out as well. 3, stop making us afraid of everything could be sexual harassment. Help establish actual laws, what our sexual harassment wasn't. And 4, stop expecting us to pay everything. And lastly, 5, talk openly about sex. Don't stop sleeping around all the time. This is the call. This has been the Exile. This is Culture in Exile, and we're out.